The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm Ron Chuckett. In today's program, February 18th, 2026. How you doing, Philip? Hope you and Lisa are feeling better. Today, we got ourselves a battle at Disneyland. Not Disney World, but Disneyland. As the first place Toronto Blue Jays travel to California to take on Don Sutton and the California Angels. That's the Wednesday stream for you on a Wednesday. We should let you know from the start the cat's fine. She has some allergy issues, as you probably heard me talk about over the last couple of years, and so we got to figure out how to get some Benadryl into her. It's funny because I take a daily Claritin because I'm allergic to her, and now she's, I guess, allergic to something else. So that's it. So you get a stream today. No stream tomorrow because the wifey has chiropractor, and so you get a Friday game, and then hopefully next week we're back up to our normal 3 games a week. But a dandy one for you as we get into May, the Blue Jays and the Angels. But first, we have breaking news. So you see, the first no-hitter of the 1986 replay belongs to Charlie Huff, of all people. Was he perfect? No, but neither is anybody else. He walked 6, 9 innings, struck out 3, and it shut down the Tigers 15-0. The Rangers, I think, can really make some noise in the American League West. It is going to be a very interesting race. Dave LaPointe took the loss for Detroit from Glens Falls, New York, and we'll forget his 8.59 ERA. So that's the setup for you. Now I got to step the game. So we've had a no-hitter, and now we get Jim Clancy versus Don Sutton next. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 86. Today, from Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California, it is the California Angels and the Toronto Blue Jays. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast. George Hendricks in center field, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So Jim Clancy and Don Sutton get the call in this one. The Angels 14-13, the Blue Jays 15-11. And here is how Toronto will line up. Lloyd Mosby is in center field. He'll lead off. Tony Fernandez at short will bat second. Willie Upshaw at third will go third. George Bell cleans up in left. Jesse Barfield in right will bat fifth. Cliff Johnson is your DH today. He'll go sixth. Ernie Witt behind the plate batting seventh. Perdion Garth Orge is at third batting eighth. And Damaso Garcia goes ninth at second base. The ageless Don Sutton, 41 years old, will be on the mound, and he can give you about 6 innings. Defensively behind Sutton, Rupert Jones, a 4 and a 5 in left. George Hendrick, and notice the logo on the helmet, is a 2 and a 7 in short. Reggie, there's enough hot dogs in this outfield to feed a small army. Reggie Jackson is a 4 and a 4 in right. Rick Burleson is at third. He's a 3. Dick Schofield, a 7 and a 7 at short. Rob Wilfong, a 6 and a 6 at second. And the kid, Wally Joyner, a 7 at first. Bob Boone behind the plate, a 10 and a 10. Sutton, an 8 on the mound, with a .941 fielding percentage, is 3-1 on the replay, making his 6th start with a 3.16 ERA. He is 41 and throws that Bugs Bunny fastball at 81. It's been a long time. You think you should be going, yeah, and time doesn't wait for me. Keeps on rolling. How you doing, Curtis? It would have been, and that's not where I would have thought you'd have gotten the first no-hitter of 86 would be Charlie Huff. But if you missed me, I was actually on John Alexander's podcast, Pull Up a Chair, last night. We did an hour and a half together. Sutton pitched against the Brewers on May 2nd, so 5 days ago. These are the games of Wednesday, May 7th, 1986. Sutton 7 1/3, 119 pitches, 7 hits, 2 solo home runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. He one-hit the Twins on April 20th, by the way. Sutton, 37 innings, 30 hits, 13 runs, all earned. He's allowed 7 home runs. Yep, George Hendrick is in center field. 4 walks for Sutton and 26 strikeouts. Mosby at 246, 3 homers and 13 RBI unsub. Todd B is... I mean, you got enough hot dogs out there with Hendrick and Reggie Jackson in the outfield. For Toronto, game 27, they are 15-11. For the Angels, game 28, they are 14-13. And with Hendrick and Jackson out there, there are indeed Angels in the outfield. Pitch to Mosby on this night in California starts with a walk. It is a windy night here in Anaheim, 14 mile an hour, going right to left, and it's a gorgeous 76 degrees in Anaheim. Tony Fernandez at 313, a home run and 13 RBI. It's a 3-dog night again for you. Yep. And Fernandez draws the walk. So Sutton, who had immaculate control, Janet Jackson, has walked the first 2 he's faced in this one. Willie Upshaw at 261, no homers and 11 RBI. Gouldens doesn't have enough mustard to cover that outfield. No. Poor Rupert Jones in left. Pitch to Upshaw. Throw down to third. Mosby's going, and he steals the bag. His 8th steal of the replay. So the Blue Jays trying to make hay. Runners on the corners, nobody out, and a 1-ball count to Upshaw. At least you picked a nice brown mustard, though, and not that French's yellow stuff. So Mosby on third, Fernandez on first. Upshaw at the plate. Willie bunts one down. Burleson's got it, flips to Wilfong, and Upshaw is retired. So Mosby stays put. That was not a squeeze. And Fernandez moves up to second. So 2 on, 1 out for George Bell, hitting .378, 6 homers, and 24 RBI. I'm doing fine, Barb. How are you? Sutton deals. Bell laces this one right in front of Reggie Jackson. Mosby and Fernandez score with ease, and the Jays go up 2-0. For Jesse Barfield, hitting .225, 5 homers, and 10 RBI. Glad to know that you're doing all right, Barb. Barfield in the left field. Jones, who feels like he's... No, it's Schofield. Burleson. I drew the stadium. I should know. So Jones came in. Schofield and Burleson had a meeting, and the Rooster made the catch, 2 out for Cliff Johnson at .317. Two triples, really? A homer and 14 RBI. Go ahead. If I'd known that, I would have played this before Cook was on Vinny and Joe's show. That was fun last night with John Alexander. Pitch to Johnson. Got away from Boone, and Bell moves up 90. So a 3-1 count to Cliff. And 2 out, and Toronto is 2 in. That is a base hit right center field. Hendrick has it go all the way to the wall, and Johnson, not known for his speed, has his 3rd double. So it's 3-0 Toronto for Ernie Witt, hitting .235, 2 homers, and 5 RBI. Why might we be aware? It should be on John's YouTube channel. That's right. You don't do Facebook. I posted it on my Facebook group. John, when he was in the Air Force, did a stint across the lake in Plattsburgh. So it's cool to actually talk to someone who knew the area. Pitch to Witt. There's a fly ball to right field. Reggie pulls out his Canon camera, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So 3 runs, however, for the Jays on 2 hits and no errors. And after half an inning here in Anaheim, it's the Blue Jays 3, and the Angels nothing. I believe it is pull up a chair. Or ASN, I believe. Jim Clancy making his 6th start. He's 2-1 on the replay, a 3.66 earned run average. He is 30. Fastball at 85, a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched on the 2nd 5 days ago. No decision in a 6-5 win over Seattle. 8 innings, 119 pitches, 4 hits, 4 runs, but only 1 earned, and he struck out 7. So 39 1/3 for Clancy, 35 hits, 20 runs, 16 earned, 4 homers. He walked 10 and has struck out 17. Yeah, I would think so. I want to wait till I know we have some West Coast people who watch, and I'll wait to get into that because that was an interesting question that came up last night. Lineup for California: Rick Burleson leads off at third. Rupert Jones in left will bat second. Wally Joyner, the Rookie of the Year, at first goes third. Reggie Jackson cleans up in right. Rob Wilfong at second will bat fifth. George Hendrick, the Channel's mascot, in center field will go sixth. Jerry Narron is the DH. He'll bat seventh. Dick Schofield at short will bat eighth, and Bob Boone behind the plate goes ninth. Clancy can get you six on 105 pitches. Garth Orge is a 4 at third. Tony Fernandez a 10 and an 8 at short. Damaso Garcia a 7 and a 7 at second. Willie Upshaw is a 9 at first. George Bell a 6 and an 8 in left. Lloyd Mosby a 7 and a 5 in center, and Jesse Barfield a perfect 10 and a 10 in right. Ernie Witt a 7 and a 5 behind the plate, and Clancy is an 8 on the mound. Yeah, Barb, go ahead. You should. I'll approve it. I need a PR man. Clancy has a .983 fielding percentage. Burleson at 300, 2 homers and 10 RBI. There is a base hit up the middle. Mosby will field it, and Burleson starts with a single. Not a threat to steal. Here's Rupert Jones at 258, 2 homers and 7 RBI. There was no link. I'm not seeing a link. That's a base hit left field. So Clancy not off to a great start. Bell throws it in. Garth partying too hard made the bad play. And so it's first and second for the Angels and nobody out for Wally Joyner. Wally World hitting .360, 4 homers. Todd, could you see it? 4 homers for Wally and 16 RBI. Clancy deals. Popped up. Witt to the screen. Won't get there. And it's a 1-2 count. Nope. I might have it. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. That's the link. Joyner at .360, 4 homers and 16 RBI, 1-2 count. That is a slow ground ball to first. Upshaw's got it. Fernandez for 1, and that's all they're going to get. So Willie robbed Joyner of a hit and probably saved a run with that. So 1 out for Reggie Jackson. Reggie at .206, a home run and 5 RBI. Some of you seeing it, and some of you aren't. So I posted the link. Cut and paste that for later. Pitch to Reggie. Struck him out. Clancy got him to chase a 1-2 changeup. 2 out for Wilfong. Rob at .161. I wonder if Bobby Grich was hurt. A home run and 13 RBI. So runners on the corners. Two out, bottom of the first. Wilfong, ground ball. Fernandez should gobble it up. He does. Long throw to Upshaw, and Wilfong is retired, and that'll do. So the Angels threaten and do not score. No runs, 2 hits. They leave on 2. And after 1, 3-0 Toronto. So Orge, Clancy, and Mosby to face Sutton here in the second. Garth at 275 and an RBI in 40 at-bats. Really? Well, Bard told you where to look, so it's not supposed to. I don't know. Pitch to Garth. There is a base hit center field. Hendrick will field it. Garcia at 291. 2 homers and 5 RBI. That is a fly ball, center field. Hendrick going back. George loafs over, makes the catch for the out. And Org back to first. 1 out for Mosby. Lloyd walked and scored to start the game. Opening 9 for Sutton. Steve. If Orge makes an error, would you call it an Orge E? Steve, you got to get out of the house more often. Mosby walked his first time up. Opening 9 for Sutton, 43 pitches, inning and a third. All 3 runs are earned. He's allowed 3 hits and 2 walks. On top of the chat, Todd, do you have it say live chat or top chat? Oh. I'm giving it all I can, Captain. So if you have all chat, you should have the link from Barb as Mosby draws the walk. I think I'd have top chat. No relation to top cat. Tony Fernandez walked the first time up. So Orge on second, Mosby on first. 1 out. You guys are just thanks. Thanks for that. Pitch to Fernandez. Tony swings. Ground ball to Sutton. What's he going to do? Goes to second for 1, and the throwback to Joyner is not in time. So it will be 1-6 on the fielder's choice. 2 out for Upshaw, who also reached on a walk. So Sutton not covering himself in clover here. Fly ball, left center. Hendrick going back. George puts up the glove, makes the catch, and that'll do. Jays have left on 3 now. No runs, a hit, and no errors. Bottom 2 here in Anaheim. Toronto 3, California nothing. So here is George Hendrick, maybe the most famous player in the history of Retro Sports Network. At 295, 2 homers and 18 RBI. It's snowing in Rochester, huh? It's, I didn't get out today. I did the last couple days. It's been nice. It's been in the 30s. Pitch to Hendrick. George swings left field. Back goes Bell. That's well hit, but George will take care of George. 1 out. For Jerry Narin, got to sneeze. Cheedbach trying to get his mention, excuse me, as Narin is hitting .364, 4 for 11 with a double and an RBI. Yeah, Dave Cook was on with Finney and Joe. Tomato for the Orge. That is a fly ball, left center, Mosby. We'll track it down. 2 out for Dickie Schofield. Ducky at 283. A home run and 3 RBI. Todd just Googled it like the kid on the commercial. It is in the 80s in San Angelo, Texas today. Did you get your wife a thing of Aquanet then? Ba-doom boom. Freezing rain turned to snow. Oh, that's terrible. And somewhere, pesky Pole is laughing his butt off because he doesn't live there anymore. Schofield swings. Hard ground ball to Fernandez. Tony flings it over to first, and Schofield is retired. After 2, no runs, no hits, no errors. Easy inning for Clancy. 3-0 Jays. Barb, are you getting good weather? George Bell had that 2-run single in the first. Sutton starts the third. Popped up left side. Schofield. 1 out. For Jesse Barfield, Jesse is 0 for 1. Struck him out first for Sutton, an 0-2, 69 mile an hour, something or another. 2 out for Cliff Johnson, who had the RBI double in the first. Barb, it rained this morning. It cleared up now and getting some sun, 40 degrees in central Pennsylvania. There is a line shot to center. Hendrick makes the catch and flips off the crowd. That's not very nice, George. After 2.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Jays 3, Angels nothing. 60 in Dayton. Possible tornadoes tomorrow. That's the person now that I see in here. I'm going to bring this up. We have, I think, 3 semi-regular West Coast viewers. It came up. I was on with John Alexander last night on his podcast, and it came up that the grand majority of gamers appear to, or at least the ones that we hear from, appear to be on the East Coast. He's out in Colorado, Scotty's out in Washington and that, and he wondered why that was the case, and I gave a couple reasons, one not being Bob Boone hitting 306, a homer and 12 RBI. One being that that our winters are a lot longer here on the East Coast than that, and the other that it's much more of an outdoor lifestyle on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast. So, Scotty, do you know anyone out there who games at all? Boone swings, ground ball to Garcia, over to Upshaw for the out. Danny Scary, remember, more than 60% of the population lives... Yes. And I said that too. Rick Burleson singled his first time up. Clancy opening 9, 28 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits and a K. But it really does seem to be disproportionate, at least the people who watch my channel, live here in New England. There is a ground ball to third. Garth has it over to Upshaw for the out, 2 away. Rupert Jones has a single. He's 1 for 1. Most of the original game creators are on the East Coast, Big Dave says, and the majority of sports teams were east of the Mississippi. And it could be because the East Coast population is older. I think a lot of the more established teams are on the East Coast, too. I think California, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, much more of a college market than a pro market outside the Lakers, and I don't know how many people actually play basketball games. Pitch to Jones. Rupert swings. Ground ball to Garcia. Quick throw to first, and that will do. Clancy through 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after 3 here in Anaheim, 3-0 Toronto. So Ernie Witt, Garth Orge, and Damaso Garcia to face Sutton here in the 4th. Ernie is 0 for 1. Into center, Hendrick. Loafs over, makes the catch, 1 out for Garth Orge, who's singled his first time up. All those are very realistic things for you guys to say. Hard ground ball is short. Schofield over to Joyner for the out. And there's 2 away for Damaso Garcia, who's 0 for 1. The only ones that Scotty's meant was at a play gathering in Seattle in 17. Not many Colorado Rocky replays are calling people to the table. No. But you'd think, the Dodgers have been wildly successful in Southern California. The Giants and the 49ers, and more recently the Warriors in Northern California. So it's not like that the West Coast has been bereft of good teams over the years. Pitch to Garcia. Fly ball to right. Reggie going back. He's loping and will make the catch, and we're through 3.5. Jays go in order. Sutton settling in after 3.5, 3-0 Toronto. So here are the standings. And you notice there's a new wrinkle this year. The real life standings. You don't need the winning percentages. So in the National League West, Houston is in first over San Diego and Los Angeles by 1. In the East, the Mets by 3 over Montreal, and we can almost project the Mets to win this thing now. In the American League West, Kansas City a half game up on Oakland, 2 up on Texas, 2.5 on Seattle and California. In the East, Detroit and Toronto are tied. The Yankees 1 back, Cleveland 2 back, and the Red Sox 3.5. Timden at 18, Colorado Rockies, but you're in Ohio. They underperformed. Arenado, I'm sure, was fun to play. And again, the Broncos have been good for a long time. We're coming up, would you believe, almost on the 50th anniversary of the Orange Crush. The Dodgers are basically a New York team, Danny says, and everyone remembers them to this day as the Brooklyn Dodgers. You even see jerseys from back then. Yep, that's true. Yes, I did. Let me, where did I find that? Is it rules? Of course, now I'm not going to be able to find it, but... Oh, yeah. So, in the info, include real records with replay standings. Wally Joyner's 0 for 1. Up the middle, Garcia has it behind the bag over to Upshaw for the out. So 1 away for Reggie, who struck out his first time up. You're welcome. I had not seen that before. That was new to me. Reggie swings. That is up the middle. Fernandez over to Upshaw, and there's 2 quick out. So Clancy pitching pretty well. Boy, did I slow the game down or what? Rob Wilfong, 0 for 1. And Rob draws the walk. So a 2-out walk first for Clancy. Here's Hendrick. George is 0 for 1. We know that Todd B has George Hendrick's posters in his room. That is new for 26. That's quite cool. And he draws the walk. So Clancy, overblown or overwhelmed by the presence of one George Hendrick, walks him. So first and second, 2 out for Jerry Narin, who is 0 for 1. So Wilfong on second, Hendrick on first, and Narin is the tying run. That is a ground ball. My goodness, did we slow right down. Upshaw's got it over to Narin, and that will do. We're going to put the trouble slide for a second so I can figure out why this is going so slow. And the answer is it shouldn't. CPU says nothing. Oh, now it does. Top of the lineup for Toronto, Mosby, Fernandez, and Upshaw. Sutton's 18 batters, 76 pitches, 4 innings. All 3 runs are earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. Mosby has walked twice. There's a little faster. Popped up right side. Jackson coming in. Wilfong going out. Rob on the grass, 1 away. For Tony Fernandez, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. So, yeah, a variety of different things, but they are heavily concentrated. And again, the legacy company, Strat, is still in Glen Head, New York, on the island, and APA for years was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Fernandez, that is into right field. That'll be on a hop, and Reggie's got to throw it back in. So 1 on, 1 out for Upshaw, who's 0 for 1. That is slapped into right field. Reggie's going to have to grab that one. Fernandez, that got past Reggie. Reggie misplayed that one. Fernandez around third. He will score. Upshaw digging for 3, and that's his 5th triple of the year. They won't give Reggie credit for the bad play, but Reggie misplayed that one all the way. He turned what probably was at best a single into a triple. So 4-0 Toronto, 1 out here in the 5th for George Bell. 1 for 2, a single and is driven into. Has a chance for another one right here. Ground ball to Wilfong. Angels will trade. The out for the run, and Bell is retired. It's 5-0 Jays with 2 out. Wilfong robbed Bell of a hit. Nobody on for Barfield, who's 0 for 2. That is in the left field. Jones hopes to make the catch. Wind blowing in from right, and he does. And so we're halfway home. Beautiful 71-degree night in Anaheim. It is, however, 2 more runs for Toronto. 2 hits and no errors. And after 4.5, 5-0 Jays. George said to Reggie, really? I'd have got to that. Reggie sicked Billy Martin after him after saying that. Join us late. Here's how he got here. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Toronto. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for California. Toronto 3 in the first. George Bell a 2-run single to make it 2-0. Then Cliff Johnson doubled home Bell to make it 3-0. In the 5th, Willie Upshaw a triple to make it 4-0, and then Bell brought him home on a fielder's choice. So this will not go in Don Sutton's best day in Baseball Digest. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Makes you want to go out and grab a $5 footlong, doesn't it? 3 walks and a strikeout. Clancy threw 4, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a K. The Angels, as a team, have an earned run average of .477 coming in. I know that's the American League, but it is not. That's not good. Schofield, Boone, and Burleson to face Clancy here in the 5th. Nick is 0 for 1. Right or left center, Mosby going back. That's gone. So Dick Schofield, of all people, puts one out there in left center, and it's a 5-1 game. Put that one out in the alley. And all Mosby could do was turn and watch it go. By the way, Andy, there is a new patch out. I haven't got it yet, or if I did, I haven't installed it, but I believe it was dated Monday. That ball is out of here. Bob Boone is 0 for 1. That's a ground ball to third. Garth over to Upshaw, and Boone is retired. Could anyone get lower on the voice register than the late Harry Callis? That ball is out of here. It'd be like if you recorded, you know how they did the Alvin and the Chipmunks records. You know, they just did the regular voice and sped it up. But if you, let's say, recorded Harry Callis on a 45, Rick Burleson, by the way, 1 for 2. Clancy, 18 batters, 65 pitches, 4 1/3. A run it was earned, 3 hits, the home run a moment ago to Schofield, 2 walks and a strikeout. So if you recorded, let's say, Callis on a 45 and played it on a 33, Mickey Morandini. Burleson hits a ground ball. Again, we got the slow poke here with Barfield. So Burleson's on with a single. So the Angels in business here in the 5th. Rupert Jones 1 for 2. Rupert has a single. Clancy deals. Popped up. Bell coming in. Fernandez on the grass behind second base, and Tony will make the grab. 2 out. Danny, I don't worry about a lot of kids watching some of this stuff. Talk of recording and playing people on records is not the type of thing you'd hear on a Fortnite stream. Wally Joyner is 0 for 2. Burleson on first. 5-1 Blue Jays. 2 out. Bottom 5. And Joyner strikes out. Clancy gets out of it. And 0-2 got him looking. It 1 run, however, on the mammoth homer by Schofield on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 6th, 5-1 Toronto. Actually, isn't vinyl still the hipster thing? I should ask if Scotty's still here. Cliff Johnson 1 for 2. A double and an RBI. They say that vinyl sounds better. However, if you're using your USB or Bluetooth to power it, how could you tell? And Johnson strikes out. 2 for Sutton. Last inning for Don. Ernie Witt is 0 for 2. Yeah, it's coming back. I keep hearing that. I've been hearing that for 20 years. You know when I want to come back? Reel to reel. Witt swings. That's a ground ball past Schofield in the center field. Hendrick throws it back in. Witt has a single, and that's a 6 hit for Toronto. Bobby says, "We are not old. We are just grizzled veterans in the game of life." How you doing, Bobby? Captain Carl. Garth Orge, 1 for 2 today, a single. It's a ground ball to first. Wally Joyner's got it. Schofield for 1. They're not going to get Garth. Not even a throw. So 2 outfielders' choice goes 3-6. 20 years ago is 2006. Yes. It should be the 80s. I've been with my wife. Last week was our 30th anniversary of our first date, which was 1996. Damaso Garcia is 0 for 2. Scotty has 2 pet sitting clients with huge, expensive vinyl collections, both associated with the music business. Boone and Sutton have a word. Don deals. Garcia, left field. That's going to hook foul, and somebody from Rancho Cucamonga, there's a reference for you. We'll make that catch, and it's 2-2. I am well. Cat's doing all right. The 2-2. Tipped it, and Boone couldn't hang on to it. They will do it again. That is ripped into left field for a base hit. Past Schofield. Jones has got it. Org goes on his way to third. Schofield should have had it, and the Jays have runners on the corners. As you can tell, the cat's feeling better. So Mosby at the plate. Who have we got? I got to beat 254. Don't want it too early for Donnie Moore, and Doug Corbett isn't actually as good. We'll go with Corbett. Corbett, 33 years old, fastball pitcher at 83 and a ground ball pitcher. He has not had a good replay. Somehow he has 2 saves and 3 chances, but his earned run average in 7 appearances is .831. That's bad. He has a win and a loss. The last time out for Doug was April 30th in Toronto against these Jays, an inning and 2/3 and an 8-5 loss, which he took the loss. 45 pitches, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, and a walk. Overall for Corbett, 8 2/3, 13 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, a home run. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Mosby's 0 for 1, 2 out, top the 6th. Garth Orge on 3rd. Damaso Garcia on 1st. Corbett deals. That is a base hit in the left center field. That didn't work. Orge will score. That's off the wall. Hendrick gets late with a throw. Garcia scores. Todd B. laughing hysterically. And it's 7-1 Toronto. But yet the Angels took the Red Sox to the 7th game of the ALCS. Tony Fernandez is 1 for 2 today with a walk. So Hendrick makes a George Hendrick play. Fernandez in the left. Jones going back. Mosby watching this one. This should stay in the yard. Rupert will make the grab, have a pina colada, and that'll do. However, 2 more runs for Toronto on 3 hits. We go to the bottom of the 6th here. And Anaheim 7-1 Blue Jays. So Reggie, Wilfong, and Hendrick, they face Clancy here in the 6th. Clancy, if they should hold the lead, looking for his 3rd win. Reggie, fly ball, right field. Barfield in the corner. Jesse reaches in the stands and can't get there. Someone from Santa Barbara made that play, and it's no 2 count. Hendrick needs a ghost fielder. Reggie says to George, yep, I'd had that one. Reggie swings. Ground ball to second. Garcia's got it in a hop over to Upshaw, and Reggie's retired. Now they both can go in the dugout and sulk at each other. Here's Rob Wilfong. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Clancy deals. That is a high ground ball to Garcia. Behind the back at second. Snap. Throw! And Upshaw couldn't get it. Garcia tried to rush it. Upshaw couldn't get it. Wilfong is going to reach. It was a low throw. Upshaw knocked it down like Mike Palmatier. And that's the first error of the ballgame for either squad. George Hendrick 0 for 1 with a walk. Swings. That's a ground ball to Garcia again. Fernandez for 1, Upshaw for 2. So Hendrick grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. We go to the 7th. No runs, no hits, and the error doesn't hurt. Reggie and Hendrick are chewing at each other as they go back out in the field, and Gene Mauch is trying to fire in Earl Weaver's Chesterfields. After 6, 7-1 Jays. So Upshaw, Bell, and Barfield to face Corbett here in the 7th. Willie's got himself a triple on the misplay by Reggie out there, and an RBI. Fly ball, left center field. Hendrick going back. George puts on the Jets, makes the catch, 1 out. You look at those fielding percentages. Jones is about right, 990-ish. But Hendrick, 954 in center field. That's not good. And Reggie is 949 in right field. That's also not very good. George Bell, 1 for 3 today. A single and 3 RBI. Corbett's pitch. And George draws the walk. So 1 out, Bell on first for Barfield, who is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Corbett deals. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Jones, way back there, and Barfield crushes one. So it's now 9-1. As Barfield puts one into the second deck. There's somebody there who bought tickets to a Rams game is wondering what the hell's going on. This one has been all Toronto. Silent George and the Mouth That Roared, the same clubhouse. That sounds like a children's book, doesn't it? I bet you're right. I bet that was interesting. Cliff Johnson, 1 for 3. A double, an RBI, and a strikeout. That's a ground ball to Wilfong. Rob has it over to Joyner, and Johnson's retired. So 2 out for Ernie Witt, 1 for 3. Ernie's got himself a single. Hedrick says to Rupert, jump a little, come on. So many bad seats when they rebuilt this place. Witt swings. There's a slow chopper to Joyner. Wally to the bag, and that'll do. Stretch time, 2 more on the board for the Jays. 9-1 to score. So the homer by Barfield makes it a 9-1 game. It'll be Nairn, Schofield, and Boone to face Clancy here in the 7th. Jerry's 0 for 2. Struck him out, 3 for Clancy. Nairn chased that one like he's got a reservation at Sizzler. Here's Dick Schofield, 1 for 2. He's got the lone run for the Angels, a home run out there in left center field in the 5th. And that's a base hit into left field. Bell will grab it on a hard hop. And Schofield is going to dig for 2. Bell has a good arm to throw to Garcia, and they threw him out. So Bell gets an outfield assist. It's a single, and then 7-4 on the putout. 2 out for Boone, 0 for 2. That's a fly ball, hooking foul left side. And somebody from Los Angeles made that grab. And the count is 2-2. Clancy deals. Popped up. Left side. Fernandez on the dirt. And that'll do. We've played 7. The Angels tried to make the base running blunder, trying to stretch a single into a double. And after 7, it's still 9-1 Toronto. Stadium groans. Angels always drew well with those extra seats. I'm sure it helped, especially in the days before interleague play, that it was your only chance to see some of these teams that you only saw on television. Orge, Garcia, and Mosby to face Corbett here in the 8th. Garth is 1 for 3 with a single. WWG would have liked this game. Fly ball, left center field. Hendrick lopes over. Yawns, makes the catch for the out. 1 away for Garcia, who's 1 for 3. That is up the middle. Schofield's got it, throws to Joyner, and there is 2. Oh, Sean, a.k.a. WWG. Oh, world's worst gamer. Yep. Although I think he's more of a Yankee fan than anything. Hopefully Greg is okay, speaking of Blue Jay fans. Lloyd Mosby, 1 for 2. He's walked twice, doubled, and drove home 2. He slides this one to Joyner, takes it in the bag, and that will do. We played 7.5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Jays 9, Angels 1. So Burleson to face Clancy here. 27 batters deep for Jim, 7 innings, 1 run. It was earned, the homer from Schofield. 5 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Burleson 2 for 3. I haven't seen Sean in a while. I see him occasionally in other people's chats. Burleson has 2 singles. There is a high ground ball to Garcia over to Upshaw in a hurry for the out. 1 away for Rupert Jones. Rupert 1 for 3 with a single. Right center, Barfield. Shows you how it's done. 2 out for Wally Joyner. Wally 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Clancy getting some extra work in here with an 8-run lead. Right field. Barfield goes the other way towards the line. That's well hit, but Jesse will make the catch, and that will make a fantastic play. That's Barfield's 7th of the year. We go to the 9th. Jays 9, Angels 1. So Fernandez 1 for 3 with Upshaw and Bell. Corbett, he's somehow gotten 2 in the 3rd. Popped up, right side. Joyner, 1 out. For Willie Upshaw, 1 for 3. Got a triple and an RBI. There's a base hit in the right field. Reggie's not going to make that play. Picks it up off a hop. You ready to vote in the poll? You go right ahead. Go vote for California. Toronto's up with 60%. There's Greg. Oh, you're watching the Olympics. I was hoping you're okay. Jays 9. Angels 1. George Bell 1 for 3. Has driven in 3. On a single, a fielder's choice, and a walk. Boone and Corbett have a word. And he struck him out. So 2 out for Barfield, who homered in his last time up. Put one of the football seats out there in left center. And he walked him. So 1st and 2nd. I don't think Boone liked the call. But it was a 3-0 count. Can we get Cliff Johnson so I don't need to put on one more pitcher for that? My dad worked a few of them, too. In fact, he was in Calgary in 88 on the mountain when the Chinook hit. Did you just work general, or was there a specific sport that you worked, Greg? Johnson swings. I'm going to have to put in another pitcher. Gets past Schofield. Jones in left field. Upshaw around 3rd. Jones throws to the plate. Not in time. 10-1 for Ernie Witt. 1 for 4. Corbett will get the batter because the box says it's the right thing to do. So Barfield on 2nd, Johnson on 1st, and a 10-1 Toronto lead. Nothing, whatever you were assigned to. Okay. Fly ball, right field. Reggie is going back. Is Reggie going to be able to make the play? No! That's gone! Ernie Witt homers, and it's 13-1. Reggie didn't really go after that one full tilt. Doug Corbett looks out there in right field. Because you got it. And gives a salute to Reggie. Orange 1 for 4. Corbett, I think I told you my dad wrote about skiing. Corbett, statistically speaking, will be lights out in the near future. Not today, he won't be. 13-1. Vance Molnix will pinch hit. And now I'll go get Corbett. Am I really going to have to waste? Who am I wasting here? The Fat Tubagoo, Terry Forster. Terry had such a good career, too, and he's known for that. 34 years old, fastball at 86. Ground ball pitcher, 10th appearance, 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA. Last pitch 2 days ago in an 8-1 win over the Red Sox. He went 1/3 of an inning, 7 pitches. 11 2/3 for Terry, 11 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. He walked 5 and struck out 9. Yeah, CTV had those Olympics in Calgary. That also did Vancouver, Salt Lake City, and I believe he did Torino. He did not do the 2 European Olympics in the mid-90s. He didn't do Albertville, and he didn't do the one in Norway, which I'm now blanking on. Lillehammer. 2 of the or Nagano. So he did not do the 3 CBS Olympics. And by the time the NBC got the Winter Games in 2002 for Salt Lake, he worked as a producer on their skiing coverage. So, awesome stuff. Melenick's at 221, 2 homers and 6 RBI. So Forster to try to get the last out. CTV had Vancouver. You covered Torino. With Brian Williams, Ron McClain. Mullenix pops it up. Boone to the screen. And a fantastic play. And that'll do. So Forster comes in. He throws a whopping 5 pitches. Go to the bottom of the 9th. 4 more for the Jays. 3 hits and no errors. It's Toronto 13, California 1. Barcelona, LA. So what was your, 84. CBC had Atlanta because I remember watching a lot of that. Reggie Jackson 0 for 3. Atlanta was the year that Donovan Bailey won the 100. Right? Reggie strikes out. Reggie lost interest in this game in the first inning. Clancy strikes out his 4th. Here's Wilfong. Wilfong is 0 for 2 with a walk. Yep, the Canadian coverage, I agree, Scotty's always been better. Do I have Gritch? I do have Gritch. Bobby at 400, 2 homers and 11 RBI. California has a low sperm count. Maybe. Or it's high and they're just not interested. Gritch draws the walk. So 1 on, by the way, 12 to tie, 13 to win. Here's Hendrick. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Clancy and Witt have a word. Hendrick swings. That's a base hit into left field. So the computer really should be going to get Clancy. Gritch will hold at second. So first and second, 1 out. And Dennis Lamp will come in to pitch. So Clancy cannot lose it. Lamp making appearance number 6, does not have any decisions, and a 1.80 earned run average. He's 33. Fastball 83 and a ground ball plus pitcher. The great Charlie Jones said the Jamaican-born Canadian sprinter, when Bailey crossed the line. Don Witt, great announcer for the CBC. See, Lamp pitched against the Mariners on the 4th, so 3 days ago, in a 3-1 loss. Inning in 2/3, 38 pitches, 2 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. 15 innings for Dennis, 14 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. The homer came against the Royals about a month ago. He's walked 4. Don Whitman, thank you, and 8 strikeouts. So we watched that live on CBC because I don't think NBC did it live. And Don Whitman was beside himself with joy when Donovan was shocked. Now, the favorite false started, if I remember, and was DQ'd. Pitch to Narin. There's a ground ball to Garcia. Fernandez for 1, Upshaw for 2, and that will do. Well, this was a one-sided affair. Blue Jays win an easy one today, 13-1. So 2 hours and 53 fake minutes. Toronto moves to 16. Linford Christie. Your memory is tremendous. From England, from the GB, 13 runs for the Jays, who were 16-11, 12 hits in an error. California falls to 500 at 14-14, a run on 6 hits and no errors. Jays leave on 4. California left on 6. Clancy's going to get your digital dice MVP. He goes to 3-1. 8 1/3, 6 hits. The home run to Schofield. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Billy was the world champion, though. Great stuff. Sutton falls to 3-2, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Corbett, 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, all earned, the 2 homers. Barfield and Witt, he walked 2 and struck out 1. And Forster faced 1 batter. The rest of this Wednesday in baseball. In a second, you can do this. Come on, pop up. Cubs beat the Dodgers at Wrigley 5-2. Trout 3-2. Rick Honeycutt takes a loss. He goes to 2-3. Sean Dunston 3 for 5 and 2 doubles. Giants beat the Pirates 4-2. Juan Berenguer 1-2. McWilliams falls to 0-1. Lasky picks up his second save. 19 hits from the Expos. They beat the Phillies 11-5. Floyd Yeomans 4-1. Shane Raleigh, I don't think he's ever pitched well on this channel, 1-3. Mitch Webster 3 for 5, hits his third, drives in 2. Kansas City beats Cleveland 5-3. Saberhagen, what even year curse, beats goes to 5-1. Jerry Heaton 2-2. Angel Salazar or Argenis Salazar 3 for 4, 2 RBI and a double. Good one at Shea between Sid Fernandez and Nolan Ryan. The Astros fall to the Mets 1-0. El Cid goes to 5-0. Ryan's first loss of the year. He's 4-1. Lenny Dykstra 2 for 4, a triple and a double. The Cardinals beat the Padres 5-4. Horton 3-1. Goose Gossage falls to 0-3. Andy Van Slyke 2 for 5, hits his fourth and drives in 2. Floyd Bannister shuts out the Yankees 1-0. He goes to 3-3. Tommy John, the tough loss there. He's 0-1. Dave Winfield, 3 for 4. Coming off the no-hitter, the Tigers bounce back. They beat the Rangers 8-3. Jack Morris, 4-0. Wright falls to 0-2. Chet Lemon, 3 for 5, a double and a stolen base. Minnesota in 10 over Baltimore, 6-5. Pastore, 1-0. Don Asse, 1-2. Rick Dempsey hits his third, 2 for 4, and drives in 3. Milwaukee, despite a homer and 5 RBIs from Bruce Bochy and 2 hits, Milwaukee beats Oakland 13-6. Wegman opens up a grocery store, goes to 3-2, and Joaquin Andahar falls to 3-1. Rob Deere hits 2 homers. He now is 6 and drove in 7, but it's Bochy that got the highlight. Al Nipper takes one on the chin. Seattle beats the Red Sox 9-2. Dave Henderson hits 2 homers, goes 2 for 4 and drives in 3, and Wilcox 2 for 2 or 2-2 now on the year. Friday's stream will be the Red Sox and the A's from Oakland. Roger Clemens on the hill. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. You might see me later tonight elsewhere. Have a good day, everybody. So long.